Hello, everyone. Welcome to our February WIC cooking demonstration. Today, we'll be making a really yummy and delicious breakfast that will fill you up and keep you and your family nice and nourished so that you can have a successful day. So as we know, breakfast is a really important meal. We just want to make sure we start off the day with a lot of good nutrients just so that we can keep our bodies fueled for the entire day. So the primary ingredients that we'll be using today are oatmeal, which you can buy with your WIC benefits. And oatmeal has a lot of really great nutritious benefits to it. So one of the really important things in our diet is fiber, which is something that a lot of people don't get enough of. But the good thing about oatmeal is there's lots of fiber in oatmeal. So starting off your day with fiber this way will just help you have a healthy gut, and it will also just make everything easier to move along, if you know what I mean. And it also just helps with your heart health. It helps to lower cholesterol and prevent high blood pressure. And it reduces your risk for certain cancers, obesity, and diabetes, and it just keeps you fuller longer. So this is a great way to start your morning just to make sure that you're having something really healthy. So that's why we're using oats today. And then also just because you can't purchase flour with your WIC benefits, but you can purchase oatmeal. So we're going to be making flour out of the oatmeal. And then we also have some baking powder just to make sure that the pancakes rise. And then to add some flavor, we have some ground cinnamon and just a little bit of salt. And then also for flavor, we have vanilla. And then just to make sure that everything gets combined well, we have an egg and then also a cup of low-fat milk. So we'll go ahead and get started. The important thing with this recipe is that you will be using a blender. So whenever you start this recipe, you'll want to make sure that you have your blender ready to go. And what we're going to do is we're going to do it in two parts. So at first we're going to do the dry ingredients just to blend those all up, make sure that they're nice and combined, and we get the oatmeal that's down to like the size of flour. And then in the next part, we're going to make the liquid portion, and then we'll mix it all together and then add the berries, and then we'll be able to make the pancakes. So to start off, I've already made the oat flour just because the blender is really noisy. So how we do that is you take 1.5 cups of oatmeal and you just put it directly into your blender. And what I did is I just used the blend setting, blended it for about 20 to 30 seconds. And as I was blending it, I kind of adjusted the blender a little bit to make sure that everything was getting combined. So you can just shake it a little bit. You can even stop the blender and scoop things down. You just want to make sure that all of the oats get nice and finely ground up, because that's going to be what we're using for our flour for this recipe. So after making the oat flour, what I did was I added 2 teaspoons of baking powder right into the blender with the ground up oats. And so this is just going to make sure that the pancakes rise. And then our final 2 dry ingredients are the cinnamon and the salt, and those all got ground up. So what I have right here is the ground up oatmeal, which you can see right here. It just looks like flour. It has a little bit of clumps in it. That's okay. We just want to make sure that everything is nice and combined and you can't see any big pieces of oatmeal anymore. So that's what we're going to be using. Just looks like flour, and this has all of our dry ingredients already. So what I'm going to start on now is the wet ingredients. And for our wet ingredients, we have milk. So we have 1 cup of milk. And if your family doesn't drink regular milk, you can use lactose-free milk, you can use soy milk, you can use your Ripple milk. Whatever you have, you can use as your source of milk for this recipe. We're just using low-fat low-fat milk today. This will have some really good calcium and protein just to make sure that our bones are healthy and we're staying nice and strong. So that's the 1 cup of the milk. And then we're going to be adding 1 egg to the blender as well. So I'm just going to crack this egg. And we'll go ahead and dump this right into the blender. We're also going to be adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So that will go right in. And the last component for our wet ingredients is a banana. So the banana is going to provide a lot of healthy nutrients, some extra fiber as well, some potassium, and also a little bit of sweetness. So this will be what sweetens the pancakes. And I'm just going to make sure that the lid is on nice and tight. And I am going to blend it, so I apologize for the noise, but it should be pretty quick. And then afterwards, I'll be able to make the pancakes in front of you all. Okay. So our wet ingredients are now all combined and it looks really nice and evenly combined. You can't tell that there's any banana chunks in there. This is what we want. We want it to be all nice and combined so that the egg, vanilla, milk, everything in here is all combined. So this is all of our wet ingredients for our pancakes. And so what we're going to do, go ahead and move the blender out of the way now that we're done with that. Now that we have our dry ingredients, now we will make a little bowl for our wet ingredients. And we'll put the wet ingredients right in the center here. Now we'll be able to combine this, and this will be our pancake batter. So whenever I like to make pancakes, I keep a few chunks in there. That helps them stay nice and fluffy. So you just don't want to over combine the batter, but just make sure that it's nice and stirred up and mostly everything gets incorporated together. We don't want any big lumps or anything like that. It really smells really good. I love the smell of vanilla and cinnamon. This would be a great recipe to make before school, or if you're having a nice breakfast at home on the weekend or something like that. It's just a really nice recipe that's not only healthy, but really delicious and will make your kitchen smell really good as well. Okay, so this is the combined batter. You can see that it's not perfectly mixed together, but that's okay. We do want a little bit of clumps just so that the pancakes are fluffy. And this is all combined together. So this is our batter. And now what we can do is we can put some heat on the pan. I'm going to keep mine about medium low. And I just have a little bit of olive oil in the pan, but you can use any oil that you have on hand. Sorry about that, y'all. My other computer decided to do some updates, so I hope y'all can hear me okay. But we are going to keep going just with the one camera. But the pan is getting nice and warm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1/3 of a cup. And I'm going to use that so that I can scoop the batter. I'm going to make sure there's lots of blueberries in this first one. And we're just going to make our little pancakes. So I like to use a measuring cup just to make sure that my pancakes are all the same size. And so I'm just going to make 1/3 of a cup pancakes, and you can do about 3 to 4 pancakes at a time. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit. Some other great things about oatmeal is that oatmeal has a lot of iron in it. So iron is something that just helps you to have good energy levels, and it prevents anemia as well. So getting a lot of iron in your diet can be really helpful to make sure that you're staying healthy. And let's see. Pancakes are turning out a bit thinner than usual. I think, so if this happens at home for you, what you can do is you can blend up a little bit more oatmeal and mix it in. So my pancakes are a little bit thin today, but that's okay. We're still gonna flip them and they'll still taste good. So that can happen whenever you're making pancakes, just like if you were making regular pancakes. I think I just had maybe a little bit too much milk and not enough oatmeal. But that can happen and it's okay. Nothing's perfect and it'll still taste yummy. So while these cook, let's see. I did want to speak about the fiber recommendations for daily intake for children and then also for women. So for children ages 1 to 3, the recommended intake for fiber is 19 grams of fiber. And then for children 4 to 8, that recommendation is 25 grams per day. And 25 grams is also recommended for women younger than 50. So to give you an idea of some amounts of fiber just in other foods, a half a cup of oats has 4 grams of fiber in it. So that is a good way to get a lot of fiber in, as well as 1 banana has about 3 grams of fiber in it, and half a cup of blueberries has 2 grams of fiber. So these pancakes have a lot of different sources of fiber in them, which will be a great way just to make sure that we're healthy and everything like that. They're taking a bit longer to cook than usual. I'm not quite used to this kitchen yet. But they're slowly cooking. Yeah, fiber is something that just makes sure that our digestive system stays nice and healthy. So eating a diet high in fiber can prevent certain types of cancer because it keeps your digestion flowing a little bit easier. And then it can also prevent fiber can prevent constipation. It can prevent any other sort of complications related to constipation. So just making sure that your family eats a lot of fiber is a great way to make sure that y'all are all staying regular and not having too many tummy issues. Some other foods with fiber in them are beans, vegetables, and some nuts also have fiber too. So these, I can scoop my spatula under them. I'm going to flip it. I'm a bit nervous about doing this on camera, but we'll just give it a go. Oops. I think I'm going to let these ones cook just a little bit longer because that one wasn't quite ready to flip. But whenever there's more bubbles in the center and it starts to firm up on the edges, that's when you know you can flip it. I obviously didn't wait long enough for this one, but that's okay. Like I said, nothing's perfect. We're all just trying our best. You don't have to be a pro chef to do any of these recipes. Just gonna make sure this is more in the center, so let's get hot. I think this one is ready to flip. Not quite yet. So I don't know if you can quite tell, but I'll show you what I'm talking about because I forgot I don't have my other camera. But the pancakes are starting to firm up around the edges. And so the center will still have a little bit of liquid in it when you flip it, but that's okay. Okay. All right. Oh, that was a perfect flip. Okay. And let's see if we can do it again. There we go. Yeah, so these are getting nice and cooked up. Even though the batter was thin, they're still turning out really tasty, and the blueberries are kind of getting cooked and oozing everywhere, so it has that pretty purple juice. It smells really good. It smells like breakfast and just family time, and I don't know, I love pancakes. I feel like everybody likes pancakes, so this is just a great healthy way to get in some nutrition while also having a really yummy breakfast. And then when you're serving these, I think it would be really yummy to put some slices of banana, some extra blueberries on top, and then you could even pair it with some peanut butter. So if you wanted to put a little bit of peanut butter in the microwave and stir it up, you can make it into a drizzle, which would be really tasty. That's another thing you can get with your WIC benefits. That would give you some more protein in this recipe, some healthy fats. And then I think even just like a little dollop of vanilla Greek yogurt would taste really good. There are lots of different ways that you can serve them, but I'll go ahead and show you what they look like. I'll show you the pretty one. But you can see it has all those yummy blueberry juices coming out already. And then the bottom it just looks like a blueberry pancake. And so these will be really tasty for your kiddos. Toddlers can eat them just with their hands too. It'll be, you can just make them into some smaller pieces for them. And this is just a great recipe to have with your family. And I really hope that you try it and you let us know how it goes. If you do end up making them, I bet yours will look a lot prettier than mine, but you can send us a picture of what they turn out like. But you can also use this video as your nutrition education credit. So in the caption of this video, you'll be able to find a survey. So just fill out that survey, let us know what you learned during this video, and then you'll get a code that you can show to your WIC clinic staff, and they'll be able to count you watching this video as your nutrition education credit. So if you need your benefits reloaded, please just visit any of our clinics. You can go to the mobile clinic, you can go to the drop boxes in front of your clinics, however you need your benefits reloaded. But if you do, you can use this as your nutrition education credit. Also, all of the other recipes that we've ever made are going to be in the link below as well. So if you're interested in other recipe ideas, those are all available to you. down in the caption below. And I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope you learned something. But let us know what you think of the recipe, and we'll see you next month. And if you have any recipe ideas, please let us know. But thanks for joining, and we'll see you later. Bye.